thinking about the idea of I want to totally invest my being into the day and into everything. I don't want to do it. I do not want to do anything half-heartedly. If I make a decision that I'm going to do it, let me do it with everything that I have, rather than be thinking about all the reasons why I don't want to do this and, oh my God, when is it going to be over? I can remember when I was a kid, the first jobs that I had, my whole fantasy while I'm doing the work, my fantasy is about if only it was all done right now. Like magically, I was going to make all this be done right now. This is what's going on in my mind. If it could only be done right, man, those were long days. To get in there and just in physical work, to actually feel the body working, to enjoy it, to try to make it move more smoothly. And over time, it's harder to do that. But to just to get in there and try to move as easily and gracefully as possible in whatever task that it is. To give freely, but to give with prudence. To take a moment to reflect, to be sure that what I'm about to give is for the common good. Usually my advice is not for the common good. When it just occurs to me like that, let me give you a little piece of advice. Usually not the most helpful thing. That thing that comes to mind first. So to learn to be open, fearless, as the opportunity presents itself. To realize that this is an opening for a new life as well as a new day. And to realize it's really not any different from any other day, except that we could use it as a demarcation point. We all do this like with the 1st of January. It's like, okay, we got this new thing. We could do it with the 1st of every month if we wanted to. We could do it the first day of every week. We could do it like right now, today. We could just say, this is, okay, it's a new day, it's a new life. Anytime we make a decision to do something different, to say, you know, my habit has been this, today I'm decide to do something different. And I need help. I'm going to ask for help. I'm going to take the help. But today's the demarcation point. Today is the day. Not, this is the thing. Where we get in trouble is when we start thinking in terms of I'll quit tomorrow. I'll quit. That's like the most beautiful thing. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow. Procrastination just drains the life out of us, because this idea of doing it tomorrow, unless it's appropriate to do it tomorrow, it could very well be that all of the resources are going to be gathered tomorrow. Wonderful, fine. But generally speaking, when we put things off that we know we should do, they haunt us. They're in the back of our minds. They're just back there. It's just back there spinning, and we push it away. We go put our attention on something else, but it's still there. And so the joy, I just remember when I've been, you know, I go through streaks. I don't know about you, but I go through streaks where I'm like really good about it. And when things occur, when the bill comes, I pay the bill the day it comes. I mean, all these things I just get in and do when they need to be done, and I feel so much better. As soon as I start delaying things, as soon as I start procrastinating and not doing the things that need to be done, I start getting all goofy. It affects me. I'm thinking about it all. It's too much energy. It's much better to just move in and get the stuff done. Got up this morning and I noticed that there was stuff in the sink, and I said, oh, I got to get ready. I got things to do. I got all this stuff. I don't have time. No, I'm cleaning the sink. I'm cleaning the counter. I'm starting the dishwasher. It took like 2 or 3 minutes to do that. I would have been thinking about, oh, people are going to walk in the kitchen and it's a mess. I'd have been thinking about that. No, let's do it. Let's do it right now. So I want to consider the things I wish to eliminate in my life. I want to consider the things I want to enhance. I want to allow the good in me to come forth in these fresh new ways by thinking about how this is a service. I have shared responsibility with the others in my life, in my relationships, to create this wonderful life that we can have together. So, and here's how we do it. We are responsible to bring our own talents and our abilities to bear in life. To realize this is the truth. We can accomplish, each and every one of us can accomplish great things when we apply the special gifts that God has given us. There are these things in us, and this is the value, really one of the great values of a good inventory, is because if one of the things we look at in our inventory is, what am I good at? What do I like to do? What have been my hopes and dreams? throughout my life, and then try to figure out how to make all that happen on a daily basis, to give those things to the world, to choose to bring our creative talents into everything that we do, accessing this indwelling Spirit of God, focusing our thoughts on serving others with our gifts. How can this be helpful? How can this thing that I love to do, how can I make it helpful? People used to say, how can I make it into a living? How can I make money at it? I love doing this. What do you like doing? Oh, I just kind of like to just sit on the couch and watch TV. Sometimes it's appropriate to sit on the couch and watch TV, but most of the time not. Because there's so much other things to do that we're actually, once in the midst of doing it, that we're going to enjoy more and be more fulfilled in. So I really believe what Stephen Covey did years ago is he said, we have a budget. We have a television budget. This is how many hours I get to watch TV. So I spend it wisely. And when those hours are up, I shut it off. And I go do other things. And of course, this is very helpful when you got a family growing up in the house. But you don't have to be like Dan was and don't allow any kind of television in the house at all for 20 years. And now, he's got stories now. He watches shows now. Because after he got married, they got TV out there. He's all involved in the television. So it can happen to anybody. To generate a loving aura around us, to create a harmonious atmosphere, to realize that each of us has this unique combination of talents that is unlike anyone else. We don't compare our abilities to the abilities of others. We just give what we have. No reason. No reason to make the comparison or the judgment. To focus on how we can be most helpful. And then to be undistracted in it, finally. To concentrate on the task at hand, to give it undivided attention. This is really where the joy of work comes in, is when we can actually focus totally on the task at hand and actually get pleasure out of the ability to do it as correctly as possible, to be totally immersed and involved in it, to take satisfaction in doing our best to accomplish whatever it is that we set out to do in a creative and elegant way. At times, all of our tasks seems very boring. Sometimes, the scope of them may be overwhelming. We may lose concentration. But if we remember this, divine order is always in place. I just got myself out of order. That's all. I moved myself out of order. Divine order is always in place. And there are so many distractions that happen. I'm making a decision. I'm not going to be affected by the news, the gossip, or the controversy of the day. I am not going to allow any of those things to distract me. I am not going to be distracted by worries or concerns. When they occur, I say, okay, fine. I can even acknowledge them. But then I'm going to bless them and let them go. I'm going to put my energy into accomplishing the work that I have this moment. And this single-mindedness will assure me of success. This is what Jesus said about it. If thine eye be single, thine body will be full of light. Single-minded focus. It allows us to be helpful and also allows us to be directly responsible to those who we give the help to, which is really quite fulfilling.